Happy 10/11, October 11th, 2022. Been a little absent on some of the video making just because I've been pretty busy. A little exhausted, invigorated and exhausted. We've all had those moments, I'm sure at some point. Mine was because I had a little meetup here and had a bunch of people over. Didn't sleep much, but enjoyed the time with everybody. I guess that's the thing, when you get a lot of people together, you don't want to waste any of the time. So that's what happened. Spent a lot of time talking, just hanging out. Good time. Thank everybody who contributed, who helped make the meetup what it was, by being there, helping clean up, helping build it, right, Mitch? So everybody contributed in their own little ways, and just thankful that I've met a lot of the people I've met in the crypto space. More than anything, I think that's what cryptocurrency has done, because right now you can look at it and say, what are you going to do with this stuff? Oh, it's down in dollar value. It really doesn't matter. Ultimately, if you have an economic reset, you're going to want sound assets. You're going to want things that work. Cryptocurrency is one of those things, because it's got that finite supply. It's got that limited supply. You know exactly how much there is. It's locked in by the code of the particular coin. In case of Litecoin, there's 84 million. That's it. Bitcoin, 21 million. That's it. DigiByte, 21 billion. That's it. So you know what you're dealing with, and that's a nice thing. Economies collapse. Currencies collapse. And I'm not saying that's happening now, but, it could go on for another 20 years. It should have collapsed long ago. But it hasn't. It will continue until it doesn't. And when it doesn't, it's not going to matter what the dollar price is of a particular asset that you're going to need. If you're going to need to send value to someone, you are going to need to have cryptocurrency. Now, you can do that in person if you have something that person wants, say silver or gold or chicken eggs or pears or whatever it may be. Gasoline, might have a little bit of gasoline. There's a lot of things that have value and will have value that don't necessarily have value now, at least not extraordinary value. Right now, as long as things function, yeah, the costs might go up, but okay, we can make it work. We can cut back on this, cut back on that. But what happens when, say, electricity goes down? Yeah, for instance, yesterday was Monday. So I've got fiber to the home, and what is going on up here? I've got fiber to the home. A whole trunk line runs through here. Well, anyway, I don't know, around noon yesterday, no internet. Okay, interesting. Start looking into it some more, then I realized, okay, this is a bigger issue. Well, from about midnight to, let's say, 10 p.m.-ish, 10, 11 p.m., there was an outage, an internet outage. A trunk line, part of the fiber had been cut because they're doing work in the local town, putting in new sewer lines. And so digging down and putting in those sewer lines, guess what happens? The fiber line gets cut and everybody's out. Internet, TV even, there's a lot of the television that runs over the fiber. It's all down. You can't do anything. And so for me, since I work at home, I have to, tether everything to the hotspot, the cellular phone, and then that way I've got access to the internet. But the disruption that causes is a big one. My wife had gone out and was running some errands and stopped into the local coffee shop, and they couldn't process payments because there was no internet. Now, this happened to her at a different location because the payment system itself was down, not the internet was down. A couple of weeks ago, can't sell. Now, if you don't have the internet, you can't buy or sell. And it's like that with so many different businesses. And so a lot of people will say, well, cryptocurrency is not going to work when the grid goes down. Nothing's going to work when the grid goes down. So it behooves us to make sure that grid doesn't go down. Now, it may be patchy, just like in the case yesterday, and the fiber goes down here, but, you know, in other places, local communities that aren't serviced, you know, by that line, they were still up and running. My cellular connection was still up and running. So it's a good idea to kind of have some fail-safes, to have some backup plans. Might not need it now, but when the time comes, you're going to want to have it. You're going to want to have that backup system in place. So, may not look like something has value now until it does. Yesterday, the internet, having it, pretty valuable to some people. Wish they would have had it. So anyway, when the money fails, might be a pretty good thing to have as a backup system. You know, some sort of money that you can control and you'll be able to transact in. Cryptocurrency offers that solution. Silver offers that solution. Gold. Think things that can actually fulfill what you're trying to do. You can send value from one person to another with cryptocurrency. Very easily done. Gold, silver. If someone recognizes it, they'll take it. You know, whatever they want. Little whiskey bottles. You know, things that are recognizable that people say, well, you know what, I can use that. I can use that later. It might not be now. It has a store of value that you can use at some point. So it's good to kind of start thinking that way and have those things in place, because nothing goes on forever. I mean, and more so than ever right now with what we are seeing, it's almost like we're being pushed toward an event, pushed towards something, and you know, it's just very common throughout history that when things go south, when things start heading that way, an event will happen. And then something changes. You know, you think 9/11, an event happens, and then everything changed. Pearl Harbor, everything changed. Gulf of Tonkin, everything changed. And it changed a mindset and created a new narrative. I think we're close to one of those moments. I don't know. I don't have any inside information. Just a feeling. It just feels like everything's kind of being pushed down a certain path, held a certain way, until something changes it and pushes you a different direction and rushes you in. So, I don't know, just be prepared, be aware. Do not, I don't know why I get some of these things. It's best not to be panicked and scared. It's best to be as prepared as you possibly can. You're never going to be prepared enough. We got people who've been prepping for a long time, and they still aren't prepared enough. They still don't feel like they have everything they need, because you really don't know what you're going to need 100%. You know, you're going to need some food, water, and heat. Wintertime, I mean, you know, you're going to need something to transact value with, some sort of money. I mean, there are things that you might want to have some chocolate, you know, some comfort foods. You just never know. You never know. With winter coming up, it's best to be prepared. And think about the things you do need. And if they're not there, like the internet, what are you going to do? You should probably have some books on hand, you know, maybe some candles, if the electricity goes out. But things like that, just be mindful of it and prepare for it. And I think at that point, we can make it through anything. I mean, really, when it comes down to it. So, once again, I want to thank everybody. Thank everybody who's always reaching out, watching these videos. Thanks for the people who came this weekend and hung out with me. Good event. Just, you know, try and find like-minded people, build a community, so that if things do fall apart, you have some framework, some backbone to where you can help each other, because that's going to be necessary. All right. Hope you have a wonderful Tuesday. I do love you all. Thank you for watching. And you know what? You got to trust yourself on this stuff. I always say it, but it's so true. You've got to trust your instincts. You know, trust your gut. Very important to do that. All right. Have a wonderful day. Love you.